गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतानः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Dear friends, we are in this fourth mantra of the Ishavasya Upanishad. We are reading this mantra, Aneja Dekam Manaso Javiyo Nainad Deva Apnuvan Purvamarshatu. So that mantra we are seeing. We have just started the Bhashyam in the last class. And we read the just first line of the Bhashyam. That is, Anejat na ejat ejru kampane. Kampanam means movement. Any movement is possible only for a delimited thing. For something which is infinity, there cannot be any movement. In the infinity, for a limited thing only, there can be a movement. This concept or this idea of movement is possible only when you are a delimited person, not when you are infinite. So in the infinity, there is no movement as such. So that is why it is anejat. It does not move. Then chalanam tadvarjitam sarvada ekarupam ityarthaha. So that is what it is said. Tacha ekam sarvabhuteshu. And this is an important sentence. This is the word. So this is where we were. Tacha ekam sarvabhuteshu. What is the meaning of ekam? We were discussing the meaning of the significance of the word ekam. It does not mean that there is only one God. It means that there is only one entity. There is only one entity called Brahman, which is otherwise called consciousness. That consciousness only is appearing as many. And here Shankaracharya is specifically saying Tacha ekam sarvabhuteshu. That is the Atma, the consciousness which is there in you is the same which is in me, which is there in an ant, which is there in an elephant, which is there in a tiger, whatever it is. This consciousness or intelligence is the same. There is no difference in that intelligence. There is no differentiation in that intelligence. The differentiation is only in the body-mind complex, the upadhi. The upadhi is one word which you come across in Vedanta. Upadhi, not only Vedanta, in the entire Indian philosophy. Upadhi is something which is proximate to something else and imparts its qualities on the other. Imparts means not literally imparts, it appears to impart its qualities on the other. For example, you take a crystal, a very clear crystal. Just by the side of it, you keep a red rose. This redness of the rose, it is seen as though transferred to the crystal. Upa samipe sthitva swagunan anyatra adadhati. Swagunan anyatra athava anyasmin adadhati iti upadhihi. Upa means samipe. Upa, you know the meaning of upa. Upa means close. Upa adhi. That is samipe sthitva swagunan anyasmin adadhati. That is, it is proximate to something and then it is as though appearing, as though transferring its qualities on the other. So this upadhi, this body-mind complex is the upadhi. The consciousness does not change. Consciousness is the same which is reflecting in the antahkarana, in the mind of an ant, in the mind of a human being, in the mind of an elephant. The consciousness is one and the same. So this is what is the implication of, this is what Vedanta says. Because this Atma, or rather consciousness, like Brahman, number one, it is eternal. Atma is indivisible. It is the same. There is no change in this Atma. So intelligence, this intelligence, it has to be distinguished. This Atma has to be distinguished, not intelligence. This Atma has to be distinguished from the word called, say, the empirical ego. Empirical ego means I have a notion of I. I have this notion of I. I means this body-mind complex. I am so and so. I have an identity. So this is my self. So this self is not the real self. What Vedanta says is, your real self, your real nature is that of consciousness and not this body-mind complex. So this should not be, this Atma should not be confused with the empirical ego. It should not be equated with the empirical ego. So this is what we have to see. So that is why we say this I which is equal to not empirical ego but consciousness. The I which is equal to consciousness. This is something which is unborn, undying, nahanyate, hanyamane sharire, all those things we have seen in the Gita also. So, tacha ekam sarvabhuteshu. There is another implication also here, which is noted by the commentators, that is the Nana Jiva Vada. You see, there are certain schools of Indian philosophy which say that the Atma in say this being is different and Atma in this being is different. All the selves are different. The self, the plural of self is selves. The selves are totally different in all beings. So that is the dualism. So, but then the Vedanta, the pure Vedantic interpretation is that it is one, ekam. Otherwise, how will you account for the word ekam? Ekam means there is only one consciousness which is indivisible. It may be appearing as though because of the delimiting factors, that is what is called upadhi. Upadhi is a delimiting factor. So the same red rose which I said just now is a delimiting factor for this crystal. Crystal otherwise which is totally, which has no particular attributes, there is no color as such. So that is what we are seeing. Tacha ekam sarvabhuteshu. Then manasaha, this line also we have to read. Let us read. Manasaha sankalpadi lakshanat javiyaha javavattaram. So this is the line. This is the word manaso javiyo. So manasaha. Manasaha means that is the Panchami Vibhakti. Even when compared to the manas, and even when compared to mind, it is faster. Compared to the mind, also it is faster. Mind, of course, mind is located in the being, whatever is the being, a human being, let us say. But mind, though located in us, it goes to some moon, it goes to some other Brahmaloka, it goes to Indraloka and then visualizes the pleasures there. It goes to some other place. My mind suddenly goes to Delhi. It may go to Washington. We do not know. So whatever it is. But then the manasaha sankalpadi lakshanat. What is the lakshanam? Lakshanam is the character, the nature. What is the lakshanam of this manas? Sankalpadi, sankalpa, vikalpa, etc. That is looking at a thing, cognizing a thing. That is volition, doubt, etc. We say sankalpa is volition, vikalpa is a doubt. You just look at a thing and then you have an idea of a particular object and then you have a doubt whether this particular object is either X or Y. So that is what is vikalpa. So this is mind is characterized by such types of manovrutti, such mental modifications. So this mind is quite supposed to be very fast. It is supposed to go, this manorupa vrutti, chitta vrutti goes to Washington, chitta vrutti goes to Delhi. But then there again, the whole universe is pervaded by Atma, that is consciousness. Wherever it goes, it is already there. So we are familiar with that story of Vigneshwara and Kumaraswamy. Kumaraswamy and Vigneshwara is a Puranic story. It should not be taken literally. It seems once there was some sort of some question as to who should be the chief of the way all these Shiva Ganas. Then Kumaraswamy, he also contested, this gentleman also contested Vinayaka. So there was a test, that is whoever can go around the whole world and then come back to us. Krishna, Shiva and Parvati were also there. So they said, okay, whoever can go around the whole world, dip themselves in all the tirthas. Tirthas means all the sacred places. You go to Kashi and then dip yourself in that Ganges, you go to some other place, dip in some other river. So you go to the whole world and dip yourself in all the holy rivers and then come back. Whoever comes first, he will be the chief. So this Kumaraswamy is very happy because he has got his vahanam. His vahanam is that say peacock. So he sits on the peacock and happily goes and then very fast, goes very fast, and then he dips in a place. But he already sees Vinayaka. Vinayaka's say vahanam is only a rat, what do you call, okay, mouse, let us say. So sitting on a mouse is already there. Then again he goes to the next place, already this gentleman is there. So he goes all around and then he sees Vinayaka first. How does it happen? So it is explained like this, that Vinayaka did not go anywhere. Vinayaka simply took a round. He did a pradakshinam of his parents. Parents going around Shiva and Parvati who are the basic in the Shaivite lore, if you accept that Shaivite lore, they are the origin of the universe, Shiva and Parvati, according to Shiva tradition. They are the origin of this whole universe. So which means moving around Shiva and Parvati is equal to going around all the whole world, the whole universe. So that is what this gentleman did. So that is why this particular idea did not strike to Kumaraswamy. So by the time Kumaraswamy came back, this Lord, Vinayaka was already with the parents, though he appeared in all the places. So that is how Vinayaka was made. This Gana Nayaka, that is why you say Ganapati. Ganapati means the chief of all these troops, all these Shiva's troops, let us say. So that is it. So which means that this consciousness is something which is all pervading. This story is basically to tell you that, to tell us that this consciousness is something which is all pervading, which is always there. Then Manasaha Sankalpadi Lakshana Javiyaha Javavattaram. Then Katham Viruddham Uchyate. Dhruvam Nischalam Idam. Manaso Javiya Iticha. Naisha Doshaha. Nirupadhyupadhimatvena upapattehe. Tatra nirupadhikena svena rupena uchyate. Anejad ekam iti. Okay. So tatra katham viruddham uchyate. There is a small doubt. How can it be told in such contradictory words? Viruddham means contradictory words. How is this contradiction explained? Viruddham uchyate. Dhruvam nischalamidam. That is, on one hand you are saying it is dhruvam, nischalam, it is unmoving, anejat, etc. Then on the other hand you are saying manaso javiyaha, it is faster than a mind. How can you say this? So iticha, naisha doshaha. Naisha doshaha means na esha doshaha. Esha, this one, doshaha na. It is not a defect. How he is going to explain? Nirupadhyupadhimatvena upapattehe. Nirupadhimatvam, upadhimatvam. Nirupadhi, upadhi. Nirupadhi means not associated with any upadhi. That is nirupadhi. Pure consciousness not associated with a upadhi. That is nirupadhika. Sopadhika means sa upadhi. That is associated with an upadhi. So what all we see in the universe, it is something which is an upadhi. What all we see, all the body-mind complexes are the upadhis. All the gods we visualize, they are all upadhis. We say Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma. What is this difference between Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma? Nirguna is that eternal consciousness which has no kartrutva, no doership. It is asanga, unconnected with anything. That is what is Nirguna. Whereas Saguna, in order to explain the whole universe, you have to visualize a creator. How do you explain this creator? This creator is that Maya Vachinnam Chaitanyam, which is called Ishvara. That is that supreme Brahman, which is in that manifesting power of that expressive power or manifesting power of that say supreme consciousness. You visualize an entity called Ishvara, and from that the first jiva, the first I am, this ego, the first ego is that of Hiranyagarbha, and in that Hiranyagarbha you visualize all types of forms. All religions, they visualize God. Whatever God is visualized in any religion comes under that category. Hiranyagarbha, the cosmic being. Hiranyagarbha is basically the cosmic being, that cosmic intelligence. So that is what is visualized as a God in a religion. So that is sopadhika. That is a upadhi. It is a delimiting factor. It is a delimiting factor for the unlimited infinite Brahma. So nirupadhimatvam is for that supreme reality. Sopadhimatvam is for the Hiranyagarbha. And sopadhimatvam with all of us, we come under sopadhika. So we are all upadhis only. Every body mind complex is an upadhi. So nirupadhi upadhimatvena upapattehe. Upapatti means it is quite possible, logical. Upapatti, it is quite logical. Tatra nirupadhikena svena rupena. In its own rupa, in its own form, nirupadhi, which is nirupadhika. Nirupadhikena rupena uchyate anejadu ekamiti. Taking into consideration that nirupadhika, taking into consideration that unconditioned state, unconditioned, undelimited state, you can say that it is something which is anejat. But at the same time, manaso javiya, how are you saying it? It is upadhimatvam. With reference to an upadhi, it is said like that. Next line. Manasaha
मनसः
अंतःकरणस्य
अंतःकरणस्य
संकल्प विकल्प लक्षणस्य
संकल्प विकल्प लक्षणस्य
उपाधेः अनुवर्तनात्
उपाधेः अनुवर्तनात्
इह देहस्थस्य मनसः
इह देहस्थस्य मनसः
ब्रह्मलोकादि दूरगमनं
ब्रह्मलोकादि दूरगमनं
संकल्पेन क्षणमात्रात् भवति इत्यतः
संकल्पेन क्षणमात्रात् भवति इत्यतः
मनसः जविष्ठत्वं लोके प्रसिद्धम्
मनसः जविष्ठत्वं लोके प्रसिद्धम्
मनसः जविष्ठत्वं जविष्ठ means fastest. The English expression est, est, it is javishtha. The stha is equal to the est, literally. So, manasah javishthatvam, this is the fastest thing. So, that is loke prasiddham, it is well known. What is that manas? Antahkaranasya, of that antahkarana. Then, which is of the nature of sankalpa vikalpa lakshanasya, which is of the nature of cognition, having a cognition or a volition, and then which is also having a doubt, vikalpa. That is how mind is characterized. All types of chitta vrittis, all types of mental modifications. Then upadhehe anuvartanat, because this upadhi, this delimiting factor is something, this continuance of that upadhi. This mind is an upadhi. So because of this continuance of this upadhi, so then dehasthasya. So though the body is located, though the mind is physically located in the body, it is physically located in the body, dehasthasya manasaha, brahmalokadi duragamanam. So it goes to some brahmaloka, it goes to some other loka. So this duragamanam means traveling to far off, say places like this brahmaloka, some other loka. Sankalpena kshanamatrad bhavati. Sankalpa means by mere visualization. Sankalpa basically is visualization. By mere thinking about it. By mere thinking, I think about some place in New York and I am there. Mentally I am there. So like that. That is sankalpa. Sankalpa is just a visualization. Sankalpena kshanamatrad bhavati ityaha. Manasah javishtatvam. So that is how the mind is said to be fast. But still, in spite of all this Atma is already there, because Atma is all pervading. Atma is all pervading. So that is what he is saying. Tasmin manasi brahmalokadin dhrutam gacchati sati prathamam praptaiva आत्म चैतन्यावभासो गृह्यते अतः मनसो जवीय इत्याह ओके तस्मिन् मनसि दुतं गच्छति सति द एंटायर थिंग इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड सति सप्तमी while this mind has gone to this brahmaloka and all these lokas in a very fast way, while you accept that this mind has traveled to all those lokas in the most fastest possible way, then even then prathamam praptaiva atma chaitanya avabhasa gruhyate. This atma chaitanya avabhasa, the presence of this atma chaitanya, the presence of this consciousness called atman, that is, it is already there. Prathamam praptaiva, as though it has already reached there. Prathamam praptaiva means already, as though it is already reached there. Praptaiva, reached there. Avabhasaha gruhyate. This appearance of this avabhasa, where is this word? Avabhasaha gruhyate. Okay, this Chaitanya avabhasa, this presence of this consciousness is seen. Gruhyate means it is seen, already there. Then ataha manasaha javiyaha ityaha. Therefore it is said manasaha javiyaha. It is when compared to the mind, it is faster. Then next line, Nainat Deva Apnuvan. Who is going to explain that? Nainat Devaha Dyotanat Devaha Chakshuradi Indriyani Chakshuradi Indriyani Etat Prakrutam Atmatattvam Na Apnuvan Na Praptavantaha Tebhyo Manasaha Javiyaha Manaha Javiyaha मनोव्यापार व्यवहितत्वात् आभासमात्रमपि आत्मनः नैव देवानां विषयी भवति. So here the meaning of deva is senses. Deva, we are not referring to the deities. Devas, we are referring to the indriyas, because we know that deva, the very well known meaning is deities. Deva in Vedanta, when you come, it refers to the Indriyas. Because for every Indriya there is what is called an Adhisthana Devata. There is a presiding deity. You can refer to that or you can refer to the Indriya directly. So here of course we are referring to the Indriyas only. So, na enat, this one, na devaha, chakshuradi indriyani. They do not attain, na prapnuvan. So that is what is being explained. What is the meaning of devaha? Dyotanat devaha. Dyotanam means because it is of the nature of illumining. Illumining in what sense? Knowing, cognizing. My eye is illumining that bottle, I say. My eye is illumining means it is not as though it is throwing some torchlight or something like that. It is cognizing, it is seeing. So that is what is illumining. So my nose is illumining some smell here, I say. My nose is not literally illumining, it is a figurative meaning. My nose is able to know, it is able to cognize, it is able to smell that particular smell which is there. So that is how Indriyas are supposed to be the illuminers, Dyotanat. They are supposed to illumine the sense objects. The Indriya is supposed to illumine the sense object, which means that it knows the sense object. Dyotanat Devaha. Then Chakshuradi Indriyani. So Chakshuradi, Chakshu means eye, Chakshuradi, eye, ear, tongue, etc. They are the Indriyas, sense organs. Then all these things, etat, which is this etat, prakrutam atma tattvam. In this particular context, this atma tattvam, na apnuvan, na prapnavantaha, they cannot attain because these are again dependent on something else. Here he is saying, tebhyo manasaha javiya, manaha javiyaha. Compared to these Indriyas, the mind is faster. Indriya can only reach up to this place, but the mind is much faster. Mind is in New York, whereas my Indriya cannot go to New York. So he is telling one more reason. Manovyapara vyavahitatvat. Manovyapara vyavahitatvat. So between the Indriya and the Atma Tattva, there is one more intervening thing. That is what is called Manas. You see, Indriya can function only when mind is there, isn't it? My eye can see a thing only when my mind is present. Suppose in front of me there is this thing. My mind is elsewhere, I am not looking at it. I am not bothered to, I am not cognizing it. So my eye is of no use. Eye may be in front of my eye, it is there, but my mind is not noticing. So this Manovyapara means the functioning of the mind is the Vyavadhanam. Vyavadhanam means something which is standing in between. Vyavadhana is an obstacle. It is something which is standing in between. So Manovyapara Vyavahitatvat means it is something which is separated by this Manovyapara. Between Indriya and cognizing an object, there is a Manovyapara. When the mind itself is not able to know that, then what to talk of this Indriya? The boss himself is not able to do a thing. Or rather, in a cinema, the hero himself is not able to beat the villains. Then what to talk of the comedian? So it is like that. So Manovyapara. So this operation of Indriyas is only after the operation of Manas, isn't it? Operation of the Indriyas is only on the operation of the Manas because they are dependent on the functioning of the mind. So it is like that. So Abhasa matramapi atmanaha naiva devanam vishayi bhavati. That is atmanaha abhasa matramapi. That is even an iota, even a small iota of this Atman will not become an object for the sense organs. Indriyanam, devanam means Indriyanam, for the Indriyas, na vishayi bhavati means they cannot be, Atma cannot be objectified. Atma cannot be known by the senses. It cannot be known by the mind itself. What to talk about the senses? So that is the point. Then, yasmat javanat manasaha api
Yasmat javanat manasaha api
purvam arshat purvameva gatam
Purvam arshatu purvameva gatam
vyomavad vyapitvat
Vyomavad vyapitvat
sarva vyapitadatma tattvam
Sarva vyapitadatma
sarva samsara dharmavarjitam
Sarva samsara dharmavarjitam
svena nirupadhikena swarupena
Svena nirupadhikena swarupena
avikriyameva sat
Avikriyameva sat
upadhikutas sarva samsara vikriyaha anubhavativa
Upadhikutaha sarvaha samsara vikriyaha anubhavativa
avivekinam mudhanam
अविवेकिनां मूढानां
अनेकमिव च
अनेकमिव च
प्रतिदेहं प्रत्यवभासते इत्येतदाह.
प्रतिदेहं प्रत्यवभासते इत्येतदाह.
Okay, here yasmat javanat manasah api purvam arshat. So this atma purvam arshat. Arshat means agachat. What does he say? Purvam eva gatam. Purvam eva gatam. It has reached the place. Like Vinayaka, it has already reached the place. Mind has gone to some place, but Atma Tattvam, this Chaitanyam is already there. Yasmat Javanat Manasa. Javanat means that fast one. Javanat Manasa means when compared to that fast one. So when compared to that, even when compared to that fast moving mind, this is something which has already reached there. Why? Vyomavad Vyapitvat. It is somewhat like Vyoma. Vyoma is the space. Like this space, it is all pervading. Vyapi, Vyapitvat. Vyapi means that which pervades everything. Vyapitvat means that because it has pervaded everything. There are two words which you usually get in, say all the Shastras. Vyapya and Vyapaka. Vyapyam is a limited thing. Vyapyam is something which is limited. That is, it is something which is pervaded. Vyapakam, or rather Vyapi, is something which pervades. The general, an easy example which is given is, take sugar. Sugar is something which is a particular material. Sugar is there in 100 varieties of sweets or 1,000 varieties of sweets. You can visualize 1,000 varieties of sweets, but sugar is only one. So if you take a particular rasagulla or something like that, some other sweet, that sweet is a Vyapyam. Because it is a limited thing. It is a limited space only. But Vyapi or Vyapakam is something which pervades all. This sugar pervades all 100 varieties of sweets. Whereas a particular sweet is only one limited thing. So that is Vyapyam and sugar is Vyapakam. So it is like that. Vyapitvat means this is something which is all pervading. Consciousness is something which is there everywhere, in all beings and in all insentient things everywhere. So, Sarvavyapi tad Atma Tattvam, this particular Atma Tattvam which is Sarvavyapi, it is pervading all. It is pervading all. Sarva Samsara Dharma Varjitam. So, when it is pervading all, we may also get a doubt that it is also attracted by the Samsara Dharma. Samsara Dharma means Sukha, Dukkha, that is Maranam, Janma, Maranam, etc. Sukha, Dukkha, Janma, Marana, these are the samsara dharmas. That is happiness, misery, having a birth, dying. So these are all the samsara dharmas, characteristics of the samsara. So you may get a doubt that this is something which is affected by them. So the text says it is not affected by all these things. So dharma varjitam. Varjitam means it is devoid of all these things. Then svena nirupadhikena swarupena avikriyameva sat, that is by its own nirupadhika rupa, by its own unassociated nature, by its own unconditioned state, nirupadhika, by its own undelimited unconditioned state, it is avikriyameva sat. It has not undergone any change. Avikriyam means it has not undergone any vikara. There is a word called vikara. Vikara does not mean ugly. Vikara means a modification. So Vikriyam means something which has undergone modification. Avikriyameva sat, though it has not undergone any modification by virtue of its unconditioned state, it is appearing as though it is modified. So that is what it is. Upadhikruta sarva samsari vikriya anubhavativa. Because it is reflected in that upadhi, it is appearing as though it is experiencing all the upadhi dharmas. It is appearing as though it is sad. It is appearing as though it is happy. So somebody says, I am happy, I am sad, I am like this, I am like this. So this I amness is superimposed on that Atma. This ego, this individual ego is something which is superimposed on that Atma. That the I am which is pure, I am which is pure consciousness, we are superimposing all our samsara dharmas on that. I am having a sore throat, I am having this, I am happy, I am unhappy. So all these things. Samsara vikriya anubhavati iva, as though it is anubhavati, as though it is experiencing. Then avivekinam mudhanam, and in the case of mudas, for the mudha means deluded people. How does it appear? Anekamivacha. It is appearing as though it is many, as though it is several. This Atma is something which is different in you, different in me, different in somebody else. It is appearing as though it is many. Anekamivacha. Pratideham pratyavabhasate. It is appearing as though it is different in each and separate body, each and every body. Ityetat aha. So to say that, it is the text is saying pratyavabhasate ityetat aha. Then tat, next line, next thing is tad dhavatonyaan atyeti. That is being explained. Tat dhavatāh drutam gacchataha.
तद् धावतः द्रुतं गच्छतः
Drutam gacchataha anyaan
अन्यान्
atma vilakshanaन्
आत्मविलक्षणान्
मनोवागिन्द्रिय प्रभृतीन्
मनोवागिन्द्रिय प्रभृतीन्
अत्येति अतीत्य गच्छति इव
अत्येति अतीत्य गच्छति वा
इवार्थं स्वयमेव दर्शयति
इवार्थं स्वयमेव दर्शयति
तिष्ठद् इति
तिष्ठत् इति
स्वयम् अविक्रियम् एव सत् इत्यर्थः.
स्वयम् अविक्रियमेव सत् इत्यर्थः.
Okay, this line तद्धावतोऽन्यानत्येति तिष्ठत्, that particular portion, तद्धावतोऽन्यानत्येति तिष्ठत्. So that particular Atma धावतः अन्यान् अत्येति, it runs faster than or moves faster than or outruns all other things which are already running. So that is the general meaning. Dhavatah drutam gachatah. Drutam means fast. Drutam gachatah. All the things which are moving faster. What? Anyan. That is other things. What are they? Atma vilakshanan. Which are, they are distinguished from Atma. Something which are different from Atma. These are all the upadhis. All these upadhis. Mano, vak, indriya prabhutin. All these upadhis like the mind, the walk, the speech, indriya, all other indriyas. It may be eye, it may be some other indriya. Prabhuti. Prabhuti means etc. Vag indriya prabhutin. Prabhuti means etc. All these things. Atyeti. Ati plus eti, atyeti. That is atitya gacchati. Moves faster. Moves faster than all these things. Gacchati iva. Because it is not moving anywhere. It is not, that we have to keep in mind. It is not moving anywhere. So it is all pervading. It is looking as though. So this iva, Shankaracharya is saying, iva is something we are not substituting that word or imposing that word iva there. It is there in the text itself. How? Atyeti tishthat. Sarvananyen atyeti tishthat. Tishthat means while sitting in one place or while not moving, while not undergoing any change. Sitting again is a wrong metaphor, because sitting means you get an idea that somebody is sitting there. It is not sitting. While not undergoing any change. Tishthat means while not undergoing any sort of change in it, it is appearing as though it has gone there. Tishthat. So, ivartham swayameva darshayati. This text, swayameva darshayati, who means who is showing? The text only. The text only is showing that ivartham, that iva, that meaning is shown by the text itself by the word tishthat. Tishthat means swayam avikriyameva sat. By itself, it is not undergoing any change. So the text itself is showing that ivartham. The text itself is implying that iva, gacchati iva, dhavati iva. So all those things. Then tasmin atmatattve sati
तस्मिन् आत्मतत्त्वे सति
नित्य चैतन्य स्वभावे मातरिश्वा मातरि अंतरिक्षे श्वयति गच्छति इति मातरिश्वा
मातरि अंतरिक्षे श्वसिति गच्छति इति
श्वसिति. My book says श्वयति. Another book, मातरि अंतरिक्षे, it is श्वसिति is आश्वसिति. It is not श्वसिति, श्वयति. विकारकार्यं संस्कार्यं मातरि अनेजदेकं प्रथमम् एव आत्मचेतन आत्मा प्राप्तवन्तः तेभ्यो अन्यमनसो व्यापार व्यभितत्वात् गच्छति सति. विलक्षणान् वागिन्द्रियवार्थं स्वयमेव दर्शयति तस्मिन् स्वभावे श्वयति गच्छति इति मातरिश्वा. श्वयति. So this is that Kailas Ashram edition, which is supposed to be a very standard edition. Shvayati. Shvasiti, of course, is Ashvasiti. Shvasiti is something which is breathing. That is a limited meaning. Shvayati, gacchati va. गच्छति इति मातरिश्वा वायुः
मातरिश्वा वायुः
सर्वप्राणभृत्
सर्वप्राणभृत्
क्रियात्मको
क्रियात्मको
यदाश्रयाणि कार्यकरणजातानि
यदाश्रयाणि कार्यकरणजातानि
यस्मिन् ओतानि प्रोतानि च यत् सूत्रसंज्ञकम्
यस्मिन् ओतानि क्रोतानि च यत् सूत्रसंज्ञकम्
सर्वस्य जगतः विधारयितृ
सर्वस्य जगतः विधारयितृ
स मातरिश्वा.
स मातरिश्वा.
Okay, that is this Matarishva. We are now seeing this concept called Matarishva. So Matarishva is nothing but that Hiranyagarbha. We were just talking about the unconditioned Brahman, and in that expressive power, that Maya Vachinna Chaitanya, which is called Ishvara. In that Maya Vachinna Chaitanya, the first formation of this notion of I, the first formation of the notion of ego, is that Hiranyagarbha. So that Hiranyagarbha is otherwise called Sutratma. This Hiranyagarbha has called the Prana Shakti, this Kriya Shakti and Jnana Shakti. But that is the cosmic mind, and he is also responsible for all the cosmic functions. Not only mind, it is also function. So Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti both are there. That is why this Lalita Sahasranam also we say Kriya Ichcha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Swarupini. These are the things. That is at that level. That is Hiranyagarbha level. That Hiranyagarbha level, all these things, these Shaktis are there. That is what it is. Here, Tasmin Atma Tattve Sati Nitya Chaitanya Swabhave, that is in the presence of that Atma Chaitanya. Tasmin Sati, that is in the presence of. That is, here again, Tasmin is an important use. That is, the Shuddha Brahma, the pure Chaitanya, is not directly involved in creation. In its presence, like Gita says, Mayadhyakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacharam. Mayadhyakshena, that is, while I am the Adhyaksha. Adhyaksha means just looking over, presiding over and seeing. Adhyaksha we use in a meeting. You use the term Adhyaksha to refer to the president. He is presiding over. But of course in all the meetings the president also interferes and then talks something. But here it is pure Adhyaksha. Adhi means above. Aksham means I. Adhyaksha is something which is just supervising. Adhyaksha. So it has no direct kartrutva. In its mere presence, all activities take place. So that is what it is. Tasmin Atma Tattve Sati Nitya Chaitanya Swabhave. That Nitya Chaitanya Swabhava, that is, which is of the nature of, say, consciousness, which is eternal, while that is present, or in its presence, while that is existing as it is, not undergoing any change, this Matarishva. Matarishva, he is explaining the etymological meaning. Matari Antarikshe. Antarikshe means in this, say, cosmos, let us say. Svayati Gachati. Svayati Gachati means operates, functions. Gachati iti Matarishva. One local meaning can also be given Vayuhu. This Vayu, Sutratma. Vayu is something supposed to be all pervading. So Sarva Prana Bhrutu Kriyatmakaha. That is, he is the Kriyatmaka. In every activity, this Vayu is involved. This Vayu is something which is there inside and outside. Outside there is a Vayu. Vayu means air. And inside also there is air. And without air you can't even speak. Air is very much essential for every movement. Air is very much essential for every physical activity. Any physical activity is associated with air. So this Vayu is Kriyatmaka. That is of the nature of functioning. So that is why all strong people are said to be associated with this Vayu Devata. Hanuman, the mightiest person, he is associated with Vayu Devata. He is supposed to be the son of wind god. Then Bhima is again supposed to be the son of wind god. So like that, Vayu is associated with power, physical power. So Sarva Prana Bhrut Kriyatmakaha. That is, he is the sustainer of all beings. Prana Bhrut. Bhrut means Vibharti. He is the one who is sustaining. Then Kriyatmakaha. Yadashrayani Karyakarana Jatani. Depending on whom you see all these Karyakarana Jatani, all the organs, all the functioning of all activities are dependent on this Matarishva only, or dependent on this Sutratma or Vayu only. Then Yasmin Votani Protani Cha. Then in this Matarishva only, all activities are woven, interwoven. Votani Protani. Vota Protam is something which is, in English they say warp and the weft. So they are so interwoven like the warp and weft. all the functionings, all the functioning or all the cosmic functions, they are so nicely interwoven in this particular Matarishva. So yet Sutra Sanyakam, and which is also called Sutra, also called Sutratma. Sutra means, what is Sutra? Sutra means a small thread. Suppose you take a garland. In that garland, what is it that is holding all the flowers? There are hundreds of flowers in a garland. So there is a sutra, there is a thread which is tying or which is passing through all these flowers. So that is called sutra. So this Sutratma is called Sutratma because this thing is there pervading in all. It is present in all. It is what is enlivening. It is what is activating all these body-mind complexes. It is the Atma which is reflected in our Antahkarana. So that is why it is called Sutratma. Then Sarvasya Jagatah Vidharayitru. Vidharayitru, the same thing. Earlier it is said, Yadashriyani, Sutra Sanyakam, what did we see? Yasmin Otani Protani, Jagatah Vidharayitru. Vidharayitru is the sustainer, the supporter. Dhru dhatu. Dhru means dharana. That is to sustain, to support. Vidharayitru. Sa Matarishva. That particular Matarishva or Hiranyagarbha, Sutratma, whatever you can call. Hiranyagarbha is the cosmic mind. Then if you take at the physical level, you call it Virat. It is also called Sutratma from the point of view of, it is a different point of view, that's all. From the point of view of Kriya Shakti, it is called Sutratma. From the point of view of Jnana Shakti, it is called Hiranyagarbha. So it is like that. Then what does this Matarishva do? Matarishva dadhati. Tasmin apo Matarishva dadhati. Apaha. Now we are coming to the word apaha. Apaha karmani.
Apaha karmani.
Praninam chesta lakshanani.
Praninam chesta lakshanani.
Agnyaditya parjanyadinam.
Agnyaditya parjanyinam.
Parjanyadinam. Jvalana dahana prakasha abhivarshanadi lakshanani.
Jvalana dahana prakashabhivarshanadi lakshanani.
Dadhati vibhajati ityarthaha.
Dadhati vibhajati ityarthaha.
So apaha, the normal meaning of apaha is water only. Apo jyotirasomrutam brahmavur bhosoram, pranava apaha pashava apo annama apo amrutam apa samrada apo virada apo etc. etc. Everything is apaha, water we say. So apaha means general meaning is water. But here it is figuratively used to refer to all karmas, all activities. Because in all the karmas, water is invariable thing. Water is essential. You are doing some pratshana. You take a darbha, you again do some pratshana with water. Sprinkle, pratshana means sprinkling. Then you create that yajna-vedi, you sprinkle water, you pour water on all four sides. Then you take anything, you first sprinkle water, you recite a mantra and then you sprinkle water. So this water is something which is associated with almost every mantra, and sprinkling takes place everywhere. So that is why it is called, it is figuratively referred to the karma. So that is what we see in the Anandagiri's notes. Anandagiri explains it. That is a figurative use because the sprinkling of water is an essential part in connection in the context of yajna. So that is the point here. So karmani, what are these karmas? Praninam chesta lakshanani. All the activities of all the beings. Of all the beings means not only human beings but the celestial level, at the highest level, Adhidaivata level. At the Adhidaivata level, there again, that is again pervaded by consciousness only. Suppose you say sun or moon or some other thing. So all these things, they are pervaded by consciousness only. So Agni, Aditya, Parjanyadinam. This Agni, that is fire, has its own property. That is Jvalana, that is burning things. Aditya again is having that same heat and light. Jvalana, Dahana is again burning. Dahana, Aditya is Prakasha means giving light. Then Abhivarshanam, Parjanya means Megha. Parjanya is cloud. What is its character? Abhivarshanam, that is giving rain. Varshana, it is giving rain. Abhivarshanadi lakshanani. Dadhati vibhajati, that is what is allocating. That Hiranyagarbha, the cosmic mind, is what is allocating various duties for all these things. Not only human beings, but all the cosmic functions are for all the cosmic beings. So that is it. In this whole universe, everything is associated with Chaitanya. So this Varsha is associated with Chaitanya. We say that the Adhidevata is Varuna Devata. For fire, heat and fire, you associate it with what is called Agni. There is an Adhidevata for that. So this cosmic mind or Hiranyagarbha is what is, say, controlling all these things, what is directing all these things. So that is what it is. Then next line, Dharayati iti va
धारयति इति वा
भीषास्माद् वातः पवते
भीषास्माद् वातः पवते
इत्यादि श्रुतिभ्यः.
इत्यादि श्रुतिभ्यः.
So earlier it said dadhati vibhajati. Vibhajati means to divide and allot, to just work allocation, let us say. Work allocation is vibhajati. Or dharayati iti va, it supports. Dhru means dharane, it supports everything. How? Bhishasmad vatah pavate bhishodeti suryah, etc. we see in Taittiriya Upanishad. That is asmat bhisha vatah pavate. Because of fear of this. This means because of fear of this Brahman. Vatah pavate. Vatah means wind. Pavate, it blows. The wind blows due to fear of this. So in a figurative way, the wind blows due to fear of this. Bhishodeti suryah, that is the sun rises because of fear of this. So it is like this. So dharayati, it can also mean supports. It supports everything. Then sarvahi karyakaranadi vikriyaha
सर्वाहि कार्यकरणादि विक्रियाः
nitya chaitanya atmaswarupe sarvaspada bhute satyeva
नित्यचैतन्यात्मस्वरूपे सर्वास्पदभूते सत्येव
bhavanti ityarthaha.
भवन्ति इत्यर्थः.
So all the activities, sarvaha means all, sarvahi karyakaranadi vikriyaha, all these changes, vikriya means a change, karyakaranadi vikriyaha, all the activities of all the activities of all these say this karyam and karanam. Karyam is the body-mind complex, the whole body-mind complex. Karana are the indriyas, all these indriyas, all the activities of all these things, they are possible. Why? Nitya Chaitanya Atma Swarupe Satyeva. Only when this Atma Swarupa is there, only when this Chaitanya, only when this consciousness is there, only then all these are able to function, and not without it. That is, Atma Chaitanya is the thing which is enlivening, which is supporting, which is enabling all these things to function. So that is what it means. Sarvaspadam. Aspadam means which is the support. Aspada is support, which is the substratum for all. So that is ityarthaha, means that the text means so. So which means that this Atman is something which is the substratum for all the Karya Karana. Karya Karana, you can say Karya Karana also, you can say one pathantaram. Karya Karana, if you say the cause effect relationship, Karya and Karana is cause and effect relationship. All these Karya Karana relationship, or if you say just Karya Karana also, all these activities of the body-mind complex, they are only because of that. So here ends the fourth mantra. We will come to the fifth mantra. Fifth mantra is continuing in the same way. So let us see. Na mantranam jamita asti iti
न मन्त्राणां जामिता अस्ति इति
पूर्व mantroktam api artham punaha aha.
पूर्वमन्त्रोक्तम् अपि अर्थं पुनराह.
So Shankaracharya is saying, though the same meaning is conveyed in the earlier mantra means the mantra which we completed just now, that is the fourth mantra, though the same meaning is already told in the fourth mantra, na mantranam jamita asti, there is never an excess. There is never an excess. Jamita, or jamita actually means alasyam. Alasyam means fatigue. The text is never tired. The Shruti Mata, the Veda or the text is never tired. There is never an excess. So it tells 100 times, so that at least once he will listen, people will listen and then understand. So the text repeatedly tells in order to make it very clear to people. So that is what it means. Na mantranam jamita. Jamita means the fatigue. They don't get tired of teaching. They don't get tired of saying. So purva mantrokta uttamapi, though it has been told earlier. So let us see the mantra. Tadejati tannaijati
तदेजति तन्नैजति
तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके
तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके
तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य
तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य
तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः
तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः
तदेजति. Tadejati means that moves. We have seen this word aged company. Tadejati. Tannaijati, that moves not. Then tad dure, that is quite far. Tad antike, it is quite close. Then tad antarasya sarvasya, it is inside everything. Sarvasya means inside everything, of everything. Antaraha, antaraha means which is inside everything. Tad u means that alone. Tad u, that alone is sarvasya asya bahyatah. Of all, sarvasyasya, of all this, bahyatah. Bahyatah means outside of all this. It is inside of all and outside of all this, that is inside and outside. What we say, bahyabhyantara shuchihi, we say. That is inside and outside, bahyabhyantara shuchihi. When do we become bahyabhyantara shuchi? When we realize that this Atma is something which is there, which is pervading both inside and outside, everywhere it is there. So then only we realize we become Shuchi, Bahyabhyantara Shuchi. Then, let us read, Tad Atma Tattvam Yat Prakrutam Ejati Chalati Tadeva Naijati Svato Naiva Chalati
तदेव च नैजति स्वतो नैव चलति
Achalameva Sat Chalati Ityartha. Achalameva Sat
अचलमेव सत्
Chalati Ityartha.
चलति इत्यर्थः.
Okay. So here, Tad Atma Tattvam. Shankaracharya is giving a very brief commentary for this, because all this has been told earlier. Tad Atma Tattvam Yat Prakrutam. This nature of Atman, which is the present topic, which is the subject matter now. Prakrutam. Prakrutam means which is the subject matter now. So this nature of Atman, which is the subject matter here, this Atma, it ejati means chalati, it moves. Then Tadeva, and the very same thing, na ejati. Naijati is na plus ejati, naijati. That is, it does not move. Then Swataha naiva chalati. Swataha, it is by its own, never moves on its own. By itself, it is never moving. Then Achalameva Sat. That is, Achalameva Sat means while being totally achalam. Achalam means unmoving. Chaladhatu means moving. Achalam means not moving. Then chalativa, it appears as though it is moving. So that is what it means. Chalativa ityarthaha. That is, in the sopadhika level, that is when it is in its conditioned state, it is moving. In its nirupadhika state, that is in its unconditioned state, it is not moving. We have seen that, we have discussed it earlier. Then, kincha tad dure varshakoti shatairapi avidusham aprapyatvat dure iva.
वर्षकोटिशतैरपि
Avidusham
अप्राप्यत्वात् दूरे इव
tad u dur antike iti chhedaha
तत् उ अन्तिके इति छेदः
tadvantike samipe atyantameva
तद्वन्तिके समीपे अत्यन्तमेव
vidusham atmatvat.
विदुषाम् आत्मत्वात्.
So this line is tad dure tadvantike, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tat dure, it is clear. Tadvantike, how to divide it? Tat u antike. Tat u means that alone. Tad u, that alone. That itself, rather, that itself is antike, the very same Atma. Tad u, the very same. So kincha, moreover, tad dure, it is quite far away. Why? Because for the people who are in this Dehatma Bhava, for the people who think that their own body-mind complex is their self, for the people who are basically interested in self-aggrandizement, always trying to achieve things, and then always in the, say what is that mode? Pravrutti Marga only. Always in that Pravrutti Marga only. That is just going about in, say, all types of activities. So for them, Kalpa Koti Shetairapi, even in hundreds and hundreds of, say, creations, Kalpa is a particular creation. Kalpadav Visrujamyaham. So that is what Krishna says. So in one Kalpa means in one creation, several, say, hundreds of thousands of years, isn't it? Kalpa Koti Shataihi. In hundreds and hundreds of such creations, these people who are having this Dehabhimana, Dehatma Bhava, that is those who think that this their self is not different from this Deha, this body-mind complex, these people, they will never realize. They will never realize, even in hundreds of creations, hundreds of durations, let us say. Creation means a particular duration. Then avidusham, for the ignorant people, aprapyatvat, it is not obtained, it is not attained by these people. So that is why it is dure. It is said to be very far away because these people who are in this Dehatma Bhava never bother to know what it is. And then it is very close also. How? For the Vidusham, Tat U means Tat U Antike iti Chedaha. Chedaha means the word has to be split like that. Shankaracharya sometimes gives the Pada Cheda also. Tad U Antike. That the very same thing is close. Antike. Why? Tadvu Antike Samipe Atyantameva. Very close. Atyantam means very proximate. Why? Vidusham Atmatvat. For this Vidwan who realizes that it is my own self, who discards his identity with this body-mind complex and who realizes that this particular my real nature is that of the same Atma. Vidusham Atmatvat. Vidwan is the same thing. Vidwan is not different from that Atma. He has identified himself with that Brahman. He has expanded his self. That is the point we can see. He has discarded his limited identity and then he has identified with that unlimited self. That is what people say, you expand the identity. I am not this body. In meditation, that is what is taught. In meditation, if you sit in guided meditation, in the guided meditation, this, what is it called, for example, Panchabhuta Bhavana. So, you first see how the body-mind complex is made of the 5 elements. The 5 elements, gross portion of the 5 elements make the gross body. The subtle portion of the 5 elements make the 5 indriyas and the mind. So, this whole body-mind complex is an evolute of the gross aspect and the subtle aspect of the 5 indriyas. And then what is the real nature? What is this I? This notion of I? This is not a product of that. This I is basically pure Chaitanya. This pure Chaitanya is not different from that supreme reality. So this sort of realization, this is what step by step, this guided meditation again is a useful thing. You find some good guided meditation even on the internet. Even Buddhist meditations, it may be Vipassana. So all these guided meditations, to some extent, they are very close to Advaita, say, concept. Sometimes some Vipassana and some other thing may not be so close, but the process is same. This negation, neti, that negation of this body-mind complex, negation of all that is drushya. So that is, they first say, watch yourself, watch your body, and then is the finger you, is the hand you, is your leg you. So what is this you? What is my real self? So that is how you have to reject each and everything which can be objectified. Whatever can be objectified is not you. Whatever can be seen as a drishyam, as an object, is not you. So these guided meditations also, they are quite useful. Though they may be on the internet.
Swami,
Ramarthananda's meditations are there?
Yeah, guided.
I have not seen. Anyway, are they available on the internet?
I don't think so. We have seen.
Okay, anyway. So anyway, they follow the same procedure. That is the procedure of negation. Procedure of negating whatever is the drishyam. So here, Antige Atyantameva Vidusham Atmatva. That is the self. So that's how it is, that Atma is there. And it is also similar to what, say for example, we see in Gita. Matsthani Sarvabhutani. Of course, the next line almost directly refers to that. Let us see the Bhashyam. न केवलं दूरे तद अंतः अभ्यन्तरे अस्य सर्वस्य अस्य सर्वस्य य आत्मा सर्वांतर इति श्रुतेः. Okay, it is not only far away, but it is very near to. न केवलं दूरे, it is not only far away. Antikecha, it is also very close. It is very located inside. Tad antaha means abhyantare, he says. Abhyantara means which is located inside. And then asya sarvasya, of all this universe, it is located inside. And then ya atma sarvantaraha iti shruteha, as another scripture, as another Vedic text says, is this Atman which is immanent in all, Atma sarvantaraha, which is immanent in all. So that is what another Shruti says. Then then not only inside, asya sarvasya jagatah
अस्य सर्वस्य जगतः
नामरूप क्रियात्मकस्य
नामरूप क्रियात्मकस्य
तद् उ अपि
तद् उ अपि
सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः
सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः
व्यापकत्वात्
व्यापकत्वात्
आकाशवद् निरतिशय सूक्ष्मत्वात्
आकाशवत् निरतिशय सूक्ष्मत्वात्
अन्तः
अन्तः
प्रज्ञान घन इति शासनात्
प्रज्ञान घन इव इति शासनात्
निरन्तरं च.
निरन्तरं.
So there are many words in this passage which need explanation. So we'll take up. It is also very close to that what Gita says, Matsthani sarva bhutani, nacha masthani bhutani. That is, all beings are in me. And the very next breath he says, there is nothing in me. I am in everything. I am not in them. So they are all in me. Then indeed, to tell you the truth, they are not in me. So that is how it goes. So something similar is mentioned here. We'll discuss in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.